What's up, guys? Welcome back to DCA. Tonight what we're going to do is take a look at the long-term price trends of the crypto market through the lens of the price volume. So if you don't know what the price volume is, it's simply put the price multiplied by the volume. The reason that you would want to look at this is because the volume of an asset is directly influenced by how expensive a share is. So back when Bitcoin, for instance, was $100, $1,000 could get you 10 shares of Bitcoin. But then, fast forward to late 2013, let's say, now $1,000 is only going to get you one share of Bitcoin. So over time, there will almost be a deflationary effect on the volume as the price is increasing. So the price volume tells us how many dollars are being invested or traded on the Bitcoin market every day. And as we know, Bitcoin is the proxy for the cryptocurrency asset class. So if you're not paying attention to what Bitcoin is doing, essentially, I think you're ignoring the most important factor driving the market. Because if you don't think Bitcoin is driving the market, then you haven't been paying attention to crypto all along. So with that said, if you guys like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. You can head over to the Discord channel. We do a lot of discussion about the macro level picture of the cryptocurrency asset class there. You can also sign up for the DCA index risk model on the Discord channel. This is a model that I've developed which identifies market cycle peaks and bottoms. Okay, so it can basically help you guide your investing strategy. It's a free trading view indicator. You can sign up for it and I'll send it out to you. Also, comment down in the comment section below and let me know what you think about this type of content. I always like to hear what you guys have to say. I like to know what you guys are interested in and what I could be doing differently. So guys, this is the price volume of Bitcoin on the bottom, and this is the price of Bitcoin on the top. And there's just one initial trend I want to just point out right away because it's quite obvious. When the price volume is increasing, we're seeing these large increases in the price of Bitcoin. And, just because the price volume is increasing doesn't mean the price has to increase, because, you could also see a price volume increasing with a drop in price. It would be something, like a massive sell-off type event. Okay. But what we see is when retail interest comes into the market, these are when we see massive expansions in the price of Bitcoin. Okay. Then when the retail market loses interest, typically because there's a price crash or the beginnings of a price crash, like we see here, we basically see a position where, the volume rapidly deflates. Okay. So, that begs the question, what is happening right now? And what we've seen basically since, going back to the beginning of the year, the beginning of 2021, I guess it's 2022 now, what we have seen is essentially we've lost about 30% in the price since back in early 2021. And what has our volume done in that time? And our price volume has dropped around 50% or so in that time. So, how has this played out in the past? How has this played out in prior market cycles? Well, as you can see, and we'll just make this larger for a second, in prior cycles, what we've seen is the price will rapidly inflate, like we said, after a massive increase in volume. So back in 2018, you had this place where, we basically gained a price volume of around 11,000%. Or if you really want to go from the bottom, much more, probably around 25,000% or so. So yeah, around 24,000% increase in volume. Now this cycle, what we've seen is approximately a 2,410% increase. So in that same time, from the bottom, where we reached our minimum price volume, which occurred back here. So right down here in March of 2019, the price has gone up to its peak around 1,600%. So you can see there's a direct relation when your price volume is rapidly increasing, as does your price. And typically the percentage gain in each is, while not exact, it's typically similar, because if we had a 24,000% increase in price volume during our 2018, or sorry, our 2017 cycle, during that same exact time, our price went up around 8,000%. Okay. So typically it's not going to be identical, but they will be at least on the same order of magnitude. And, we've seen this every single cycle. So if we just come out here to 2014, we saw in the first peak of 2013 an 83% drop in price volume. In the second peak, we saw another 83% drop in price volume. And what did that correspond to? Sure enough. So if we just go down to our bottom here, once we finally hit the bottom, we dropped around 80% in price. Now I will say, to the point where we hit this lowest price volume peak, we were at around a 50% loss. Okay. So at the point where we hit our lowest price volume of this cycle, we were only at around a 50% loss, while the volume had in fact decreased a bit more. And then in the first peak, from the bottom down to the top, we had lost around 75% in price. So, just simply put, in this cycle, what we're seeing right now is a place where we are in a protracted downturn in retail interest in the market, as evidenced by the fact that we've seen basically a significant decrease in volume being traded every day. And it's not simply Bitcoin. If we look at the total cryptocurrency asset class, so this is the entire cryptocurrency asset class, we have seen the volume, the price volume, rapidly drop. And now we're sitting at around down 71%. At its worst that we saw back in July, we were down 87%. Okay. And in that same time, so we reached a peak market cap over here in November, right at around $3 trillion. And now we're trading at around $2 trillion. So we've seen this rapid drop, and just to show you the numbers, around a 37% drop in the total cryptocurrency asset class market cap in that same time. So you can see that this price volume has just been trending down throughout all of 2021. If this continues, I expect that the price will continue to trend down. However, if we can see something spark retail interest in the market again, then we'll have a turnaround. But I'm just telling you, if you just go back and look, if you go back and look through the entire history of Bitcoin, there is no point in time where, if your volume is decreasing over time, that your price is increasing. It just doesn't happen. So, if you're someone out here saying that, things are looking really bullish right now, I just, I keep laying out evidence as to, the contrary. It's not to say that it can't turn around, because absolutely it can. But, I am extremely long-term bullish. And, there's two things that we know about the price volume. Number one is that when it's going up, the price of Bitcoin is going up. When it's going down, the price of Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market is typically going down. Number two, and this is perhaps the more important thing, if the market is bearish right now, at the end of the day, if you just take a look at the trend says that we are on a massive macro level uptrend in interest in Bitcoin. The price volume has been rapidly increasing for about a decade now. Okay, so if you go all the way back to 2010, the price volume has been increasing since that time. There's times when it's up, there's times when it's down, but typically it goes up. And each new year, or each few years, we enter a new paradigm shift in the average price volume. So when it's down here, back in the 2011 to 2013 or 2014 era. Then from the 2014 through basically the early 2017 era, it's in this area. 2018 to about the 2020 era, we were here. And now I think, we may come down, we may come all the way down to the trend line, but we're going to bounce up and then we'll be up here in a few years at most, in an entire new paradigm shift in the market. And you'll see a commensurate increase in the price. So that's why, just amongst all of the reasons that I keep laying out, I'm quite frankly, I'm fairly short-term bearish on the cryptocurrency asset class. I think there's a lot of reasons right now why the price is being sort of pulled down by outside factors that are entirely unrelated to Bitcoin or any of the other cryptocurrencies. But on the long-term scale, I am extremely bullish. And that's why I am a long-term investor. I'm not going to try and predict the price next week or next month or 2 months from now. What I'm going to do is continue to look at the macro level picture. And if something fundamentally changes, then I'll change my tune about that. But until that happens, I believe in cryptocurrency and I believe in this asset as a long-term investment for all of the reasons that I lay out every day on this channel. So with that said, guys, if you guys like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to head over to the Discord channel where you can sign up for the DCA index risk model or discuss with us there the macro level picture of cryptocurrency. And until next time, as usual, see you.